Good morning. Let's take a look at yesterday and how I got a break even though I was with a team who lost 5-0. Amazing scenes. French League 2 would have been the starting point yesterday. Watch out, Finnish Viscount League at the top two clash, derby style match. Wouldn't ordinarily play that. French League 2 did suggest laying the draws. There, 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 and I think that was it. And they all ended up draws. Did I lose? Well, let's have a look at this, for example. A missed penalty meant a 0-0 at half time. 65th minute, possible opening gambit there, but you had another opportunity there at 1-2 to get out. If you stayed in and got another draw to sit on. 1-3 is a definite exit point. Definite. Any team leading by 2 goals when you've laid the draw, that's a definite out. So you should have amply compensated for that, despite it ending 3-3. You're a trader, don't forget. You're not betting on the match not ending in a draw. You're looking at the odds movement. 1-3 was a perfect out there. Similar story with Guingamp as well. That was 1-1. They scored the first goal, 1.73 in the second half. Again, don't forget, whoever scores the first goal. It was a 1-2 here. So this would have been a possible break even with the underdog scoring. When you're laying the draw, you want the favourite to score first, so the draw odds are greatly impacted. Didn't happen on this occasion, but that's your out there. Even a break even. So even though they ended in draws, and I was telling you to lay the draw, there was ample opportunity to cash out there. The biggest story yesterday really was the entry point. For example, with these draws, the entry point is using time pressure, isn't it? It's the 90th plus 106, 109 laying these draws. That would have been the ideal entry point. And we mentioned that because we've got the entry point with Magdeburg wrong as well. 1.44 home favourite. What I did tell you yesterday was what I was going to do, back both teams to score no, because Preußen Munster definitely need points. When you back both teams to score no, it covers 0-1, 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, 0-5. Jimi Hendrix opening and scoring for Preußen Munster. Lawrence, Mies, and Kaya Was putting in a superb performance. I think even though they had Michelle Pfeiffer in their team, Magdeburg, rabbit in the headlights, or deer in the headlights, I think. Asking too much. Now they're in a whole heap of bother. Paderborn getting the win yesterday has swapped sides with Magdeburg. Now they're in big trouble because the goal difference is negative for the last day of the season. Paderborn have done exactly what we expect them to do, line themselves up nicely for the last match of the season for an assault even on the title. Thereafter, the automatic promotion spots. Now Magdeburg have shot themselves in the foot. All they can aim for is this third place. I think this is a playoff place, isn't it, for the Bundesliga side? I'm not too sure. I think it's third bottom plays third top. Third bottom Bundesliga plays third top Bundesliga 2. So you could see that an absolute cock up from Magdeburg yesterday, but we didn't lose. And it's also a reminder for you as well at this stage of the season. You might want to think more neutrally, because with examples like the Magdeburg match where both teams need the win and both teams could honestly hold on for the crucial 3 points. So there's plenty to think about there. Ireland yesterday, just a watching brief, really. Nothing much to get excited about, but we did get Co-Bramblers against Bray. Based purely on the odds, this was. Bray scoring first. I say based purely on the odds because these two are top 3. So taking on a team leading who are third in the league. Well, we did it. Based purely on the odds, 1.64 Kobe doing the job. The Eerste Divisie yesterday, I didn't see any relegation angle, but what we did see was a promotion angle. I only gave you two teams yesterday, Den Bosch and Emmen. This I hope you took action on, laying the draw second half. Must-win territory for Den Bosch, particularly with Emmen starting to win as well. This is the squabble coming into the last day of the season. Both doing what they needed to do. Stay within striking distance. That's the only squabble, really, we've got. Everything else, I think, is job done. Even though there's no qualifying button here, I think this is job done. It should be just the one match left this season. So I'm not sure why they haven't been confirmed as automatically promoted. But that was the squabble, Den Bosch and Emmen. That's going to be going into the last match of the season. And both of them, I told you, was must-wins, and they did. So what you do there, you simply lay the draw. Elsewhere, in Scotland, it was the last day of the season. Falkirk conceded first against Diddy David Hamilton. 1-1 at half-time. I did mention have to win. Partick Thistle, I hope you took out insurance here. Told you it was a must-win for Livingston, but laying over 1.5 goals covers that 0-1, and it's an own goal. So shot themselves in the foot last match of the season, Livy. But are they promoted? Indeed. Well, they're in the semi-finals, so just that automatic promotion spot for Falkirk. So near, but yet so far. Even those two L's there couldn't stop Livingston from taking advantage. So do not forget your insurance whenever you're trading. It should be implicit in my messages. Looking on to today, and of course it's busy, busy, busy. 2:30 live stream today for you. It's all about moving day, isn't it? Premier League. Let's have a quick look. There's some 12 points still available. There should be plenty to interest a few of these, but let's see whether the seasons are starting to peter out. You have to be very, very careful at this stage of the season. Certainly, with 12 points available, you're going to get a whole lot of interest from Nottingham Forest, Chelsea, Newcastle and Man City, who are within Nottingham Forest grasp, aren't they? Well, Man City just outside of it. But upgrade from Europa League to Champions League for Forest will have them still motivated. 3 losses in 4 at the wrong time of the season, taking them all the way down from 3rd to 6th. So they could have gone back up to 3rd with a win against Brentford. That was disappointing because Brentford had very little to play for. So looking at the Premier League, with 12 points available, plenty to work with. Outside chances for Fulham and Brighton for that Aston Villa Europa League place. Outside chances. And at the bottom, it's concluded. Business has been concluded. So there's going to be a lot of dead rubbers. If we go all the way down to 45 points, that's the striking distance. 45 plus 12, 57. That's the striking distance to the Villains. That's if Crystal Palace win every single match and the Villains lay down and get their tummy tickled and lose every single match. Ain't going to happen. So you'll be looking more from Brentford upwards from a mathematical perspective, getting into the top 7. That's the only motivating factor this season now. Brentford, Bournemouth, Brighton, all the Bs, Fulham, Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest. While these 2 or 3 can be caught, they're still going to have to keep winning as well. So you'll be looking largely at a top 11 as far as matches of interest is concerned. So with that in mind, we've got Aston Villa. Everton and Ipswich is going to be another David Moyes home performance, isn't it? New manager against relegated Dead Rubber. Dead Rubber. Arsenal and Bournemouth. Still enough to play for Arsenal. And looking where the cherries are as well. Are they in that top 11 place? Got to be above Crystal Palace to be mathematically in with a shout, which they are. 50 points with Europa Conference League on 57. It's an obvious equation, but 3 draws in 4 for Bournemouth has been shooting their chances in the foot. So keep an eye out. Top 10, top 11, pretty much. Any team 45 points and lower, there's mathematically got nothing to play for. But so they say Arsenal Bournemouth match and the Aston Villa match, for me, the only 2 matches of interest. Don't play dead rubbers, please. English League One, all about the standings and the amount of matches left this season. Looks to be the last match of the season, so it's an easy job for us to do our calculations. If you look at the top 5, it's business done, isn't it? I don't know why Leyton Orient aren't part. Well, do know why, because of the similar points to Reading. So automatically now, today, Leyton Orient, Reading. That's the crucial part. Leyton Orient and Reading. Yeah, Reading, Leyton Orient. Yeah, that's it. That's the only motivating factor up there. Stockport County won't go into the top 2. Leyton Orient and Reading. And at the bottom, Crawley can't get out. It's concluded. So only Leyton Orient and Reading today. You've got a whole heap of matches, but only Leyton Orient and Reading have anything to play for. So that limits your workload hugely now, doesn't it, in English League One? So if you are going to be trading any other matches, you do so knowing they're pretty much dead rubbers. Okay, last match of the season. Normally, you'd be tending to look at the home side to give a positive performance. So do just bear in mind the odds-on favourites at home, albeit Charlton, very little to play for. Veikkausliiga continues. HJK Helsinki must take advantage of SJK losing to KUPS the other day, or yesterday. But they're not favoured today, HJK. I think there's been a shuffling of the pack in the Veikkausliiga, because it's very, very rare you're going to see HJK Helsinki not even favourite against an obscure Veikkausliiga side. So intriguing. Gunistan odds on as well. Watching brief at the moment. French Ligue 1. A 34-game league, French Ligue 1. So those on 31 have 9 points available. Those on 32 have 6 points available. Given this is the top flight, it's all about the European places. And they look to be concluded, don't they? Business concluded. 31 plus 8, well, not really. Yes, really. Minus 2 to plus 13. 45 plus 9 available points is 54. Goal difference, hugely negative. I think it's business concluded. The only thing to motivate these teams, Lyon, Monaco, Lille, is to upgrade from Europa Conference with a win to possibly Champions League. So Lyon, Monaco and Lille, everything to play for. And at the bottom, Saint-Etienne, Le Havre, Angers, Nantes. Well, anything within a 9-point striking distance of Le Havre, 37, all the way up to Toulouse. This lot, they only need to get themselves a win to ensure. Reims, 2 matches left this season. Where are they? A little more urgency for Reims, but do they need anything? They still do. 28 to 33, 5-point difference. Don't forget Le Havre have a game in hand. So Le Havre's game in hand win today takes them to 31. So Reims are bang smack in the middle of trouble. So French Ligue 1, plenty to think about there today. Do ignore any dead rubber. Saint-Etienne, plenty to play for. Monaco, possibility of upgrading or cementing Champions League football. German Bundesliga, a possible 9 points remaining in the Bundesliga. Looks like Leverkusen and Bayern Munich have confirmed their Champions League spots. So watch out for their matches. Dead rubber territory. And it looks as if Dortmund, Leipzig, Freiburg still have a little bit to play for. Again, we're talking about upgrading, aren't we? A win, possible upgrade to Champions League. Win, cementing, possible upgrade to Champions League. Freiburg are the nearest vulnerable Champions League spot team. Frankfurt, 6-point gap. So it's becoming even more urgent for Leipzig and Dortmund to pick up 3 points today, just in case that Freiburg, Frankfurt et al. Start slipping up to give them a shot at Champions League football. Outside of the top 7, Mainz is still involved. A win takes them to the magical 50-point mark, and that's possible Champions League football with the amount of matches remaining. Werder Bremen, with that 4-win and a draw sequence, are banging contention for a top 6 berth as well. Mönchengladbach have 4 points just to get to Dortmund. So they are still in with a shout, but their form is going backwards. So arguably, top 8 still have a little bit to work with. Frankfurt, Freiburg, Leipzig, Dortmund, Mainz, Werder Bremen look the dominating forces for me. But Mönchengladbach an outside chance at Europe. And at the bottom, not done yet. No confirmation yet. So you're getting a clear indicator here. While it's mathematically possible, don't forget for these bottom 2, realistically, it's that third bottom place in the Bundesliga. So you play third top in the Bundesliga's vie for a last chance at staying up. That's the goal for Bochum and Holstein Kiel. So you'd be expecting them to try and pull off the win. Heidenheim themselves will stay, but they will stay in that third bottom place, more importantly, and bring up within a point of the Hoff if they get a win today. Hoffenheim, awful season. St. Pauli, nearly there, 5-point gap for the newly promoted St. Pauli, nearly there. Another win takes that to 8 points, realistically, safety today. So it's the sides pulling off unbeaten runs who are benefiting at the moment. Plenty to play for in the Bundesliga still. So we'll be looking at a number of these. Dortmund, Champions League football. St. Pauli just want to cement that gap between them and the relegation zone. Dead rubber for Bayern Munich. Leipzig still with hopes of upgrading to Champions League football. Hoffenheim too near the relegation zone. Mönchengladbach, mathematical outside chance at Europe, but highly unlikely, particularly coming into this in very poor form. German Bundesliga Zwei. A uniform 9 points remains in the Bundesliga Zwei. And as you can tell, there's no arrows yet. No concluded business amongst the top 3. And they're starting to pick up a few L's. The top 4 have had 3 losses in the last match. Magdeburg, as you saw last night. Crucial. So Paderborn, Hamburg, Köln, all got to stick the must-wins on. Elversberg within a shout. They must look to break that 50-point. Take advantage of Magdeburg not winning their last 2. Elversberg, Dusseldorf, Kaiserslautern, Karlsruhe. So much to play for with 9 points at stake. So all the way down to 7th, 8th. Anything within grasp of Paderborn and 52. So 43 to 52. So I would say Nuremberg and above, unfinished business in the Bundesliga Zwei. What a competitive run-in for the top 10. Quite outstanding. And at the bottom, still business not concluded. Or is it? 23 plus 9 is 32, minus negative goal difference. Regensburg, as Les Dennis would say, they are down. Ulm's goal, realistically, is for that 16th place and a chance at a playoff. But they are within striking distance of Braunschweig, Greuther Fürth as well. Arguably, Schalke putting a nice 6-point gap between themselves and the bottom 3, but still catchable. Darmstadt as well, 7-point gap. It's getting a lot more comfortable. Further up you go, 8-point gap, likely to be safe for Hertha Berlin. there. So I would be looking Darmstadt and below. Still, Regensburg have an outside chance, but realistically, it's not possible. So Ulm, Preußen Munster, Braunschweig, plenty to play for. They're the three main contenders for the relegation. Greuther Fürth, Schalke. We're sad to see.
This market is now
and Darmstadt
in play.
Shouts. Very, very competitive Bundesliga 2 today. Pretty much everyone involved. FC Köln, top of the league. Ulm, we've seen the relegation zone. Braunschweig as well. Plenty to aim for. Hamburg need to get out. They've got to do it this season. So long in the wilderness. Tens of thousands of supporters. Huge stadium. Hamburger. Been in the wilderness of the Bundesliga 2 too long. Still unfinished business. They can be caught. They can't be caught today by Magdeburg, but they could have been caught yesterday. They can narrow the gap. Paderborn, Elversberg, Dusseldorf, Kaiserslautern waiting in the wings for Hamburg to cock it up again. Looks like nerves are playing a huge part for them. Must end that sequence, that winless sequence. So it's all going on today, Bundesliga 2. And so it continues in Italy. Serie A. Not any huge urgency with 9 points available still for everybody. But let's see. So the title is not over yet. But Inter Milan are getting deep into the Champions League and getting distracted. A couple of L's now. But thankfully, Atalanta haven't taken advantage. The 6-point gap is comfortable enough with only 4 matches remaining. Juventus still can cement that Champions League spot. They're still in with a shout at the title, but unrealistically, really, Napoli need to lose every single match. Bologna, Roma are looking to stave off Lazio, Fiorentina. AC Milan are still within a shout, 6 points shy of a 6th place. It's going to be a poor season of AC Milan. Don't get European football. Those are the only real teams involved, the top 9. So keep an eye on them. Looking to be dead rubber territory now for Torino and Como, who look to have done their business. 26 plus 12 is 38. So Cagliari and lower are still gettable if these sides put together a run. But Venezia did play yesterday, got a draw. So other sides must take advantage of them dropping points. Empoli need a win. Lecce, Parma and Verona too. So everything to play for today in what is a busy coupon. Title hopes. Safety for Como, so just be careful. Dead rubber territory now. Cagliari are within grasp of the bottom 3, so they must keep doing something. Video's getting a bit long now, so I will see you for a live stream. Spanish La Liga coming up as well. Villarreal at home, odds on. Barcelona vying for the title. Atletico Madrid Champions League places. Everything to play for today. And we haven't even looked at the tennis from yesterday. So I will see you for a live stream at 2:30 p.m. Details will be in the description of the video. Hope to see you there. We had an excellent session last Saturday and last Sunday. Just knocked it out of the park. This will probably be the sole live stream this weekend if the Sunday coupons continue to be a little light at 2 p.m. So see you members of footballtradingprofits.com and yourselves watching YouTube. Come along. You get the link. 2:30 p.m. Got to make sure we're only involved with teams who need points. Have a great day. See you later.